Well, on The Flash, his daughter, XS, was all mad at Daddy, so she's gone rogue, which is the title of the episode. So yes, Nora is mad at Daddy, and so she managed to make use of the dark side, the negative speed force that Thawne had discovered, and he taught her how to use it. So she does. So now when she gets angry, her eyes glow red. Yes, that's what it is. She's gone woke. And of course, being mad at Daddy does lead to a lot of wokeness, doesn't it? But anyway, so she recruits a crew of supervillains, the Rogues. So we are revisited by Weather Witch, Queen Bee, I guess is her name, and creepy ragdoll guy. But creepy is right. Yeah, boy, talk about your multiple double joints, quadruple joints, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, that's her rogues, and she wants to pull a heist because she's going to need super weapons in order to take on Cicada, because Cicada, or rather Cicada 2 now, the daughter from the future. Boy, a lot of mad at Daddy, and because she killed Daddy. Yeah, well, actually her uncle, but nevertheless he was raising her. Because he turned to the good side at the last minute, and so she had to kill him. Oh, boy. And so now Cicada 2, or She-Cada, is the problem here, and Nora is determined to put an end to her menace. So, but problem is, Cicada can turn off the superpowers, so she needs super weapons in order to probably kill Cicada. She and the Rogues head over to this company, McCluskey or whatever they're called, where they develop super weapons, because they stole some of the dark matter tech. This is odd. You would think the dark matter would still come under the effect of Cicada, but they said no, it doesn't. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so they break in. There's confrontations with the Flash, and it's all the mad at Daddy moment. There's still bickering between Iris and the Flash, and Iris is more convinced that this isn't a nefarious plot by Thawne, and it's looking more likely that is the case, and that Thawne actually does care about Nora. And not only that, even the Flash himself, there was indications of that when the original Reverse Flash story came to an end, that he didn't expect to actually care for the Flash. He'd spent his whole life hating him and everything, but after he had changed time and you get a younger version of the Flash now, is what this season is, and he ends up mentoring the Flash initially because he needed him to get to the ultimate super speed so that he could time travel again and get back home. But in the process of doing so, being Barry's mentor, he developed a sort of father-son relationship with him. And then he's like, well, I don't really hate him anymore. And so that created problems. And then he ceased to exist. So I don't know how he's back. That version of Thawne, when the original Thawne came back and he was in Legends and all that sort of stuff. So he clearly had no love for Barry. But so here you are now. That appears to be the case, that there is no nefarious plot, and that's what is happening. But of course, Barry is never going to forgive Thawne after what happened, and Thawne murdered his mother, and that's and the idea that he was manipulating him his whole life and all that is just, he can't see straight with that guy. So this causes the fallout and whatnot with his daughter and all that sort of thing. The only thing about this is that they get the reunion and stuff, but eventually Nora has to go back home to her own time. She can't stay with her young parents. And so, I mean, ultimately, I'm guessing that this will lead to the Crisis on Infinite Earths, and they'll change time yet again to where Barry doesn't disappear or die, whatever happened, that they seem to suggest from the beginning of the series. So that's what Nora really wants to do. But, well, they hadn't got there yet. So she does complete the heist with the Rogues. They kidnap Cisco and French Sherlock, or French Doctor Who, depending on how the guy dresses, and in order to help out with the heist, and they do. And of course, you have the back and forth with the cast, with the different members. And meanwhile, the secondary plot dealing with the overall plot of Cicada Dibney and Caitlin go back to her father's lab looking for more evidence there, and we'll get to Cicada in future episodes, but they have that going on. And so the heist goes pretty well until, of course, yes, the rogues turn on XS or Nora. Surprise, surprise. So the Flash has to come in and save her, and they're able to destroy a field dampener device that's within the vault of weapons, which, again, very much like Cicada, turns off the superpowers. So then they're able to rout the villains, and they're off back to prison where they belong. And so there you go, and there's a bit of a reunion there between the Flash and Nora, and hopefully there's an understanding and apologies here and there, and they can move forward. But my guess is they'll have to deal with Cicada, and ultimately I imagine Barry will confront the Reverse Flash probably right before he's executed and realize that, said, yeah, there's no plot. I'm just trying to make amends for my past misdeeds as best as possible. And then he gets executed. I think that's probably how it'll go, unless, of course, they leave a little thing that he fooled everybody and it managed to escape. Like he needed all these visitations from speedsters or whatever to make it happen. Who knows? But that still doesn't take away from that he does seem to have genuine care for Nora and her family. So there you go with the a fairly decent episode. You get the little heist, you get the split, you get red-eyed Nora using the dark side of the Speed Force. Apparently you just have to get really mad and then you can use that version of the Speed Force. I don't know that it really does anything to you per se, because she's already mad and willing to pull off this plan, and her ultimate goal is to destroy Cicada, which still the ginormous plot hole here is Killer Frost could have dealt with Cicada a long time ago. Yeah, just stop trying to fight her with popsicles. Just freeze her, and we're done. You know, and that's about it. Of course, I guess there's still the time paradox. We have to send her back to her own time and all that sort of thing. She probably comes from Nora's era, but yeah, well, what are you gonna do? So yeah, there's things like that, but the performances carry it through, and it's, like I said, it's a good cast. It's a fun show. But yeah, that Killer Frost business, they should have thought about that, but they didn't. So yeah, it's a pretty big plot hole. But a lot of things have plot holes, and again, it's when the performances are well and the dialogue works out fine, and the interaction between the characters are entertaining, and all that sort of stuff, and the basic plot kind of works. But boy, that is, yeah, the more I think about it, that is a bit. But even big billion-dollar successes like Endgame has ginormous plot holes in it, and no one really cares. Oh boy, well, what are you gonna do? It is what it is. So, yeah, I guess. Was it really that great? I guess this is a 5-star review for Gone Rogue as they continue the story. It's not the peak in perfection and excellence that some of the Flash shows. Of course, I keep referring to the Time Bomb episode. That wasn't the title, but I forget what it was. But nevertheless, the plot where he tried to freeze time and all that. Anyway, that was a good one. So that'll be a rare one. If they can achieve that again, that'll be nice. But still, the Flash, of course, remains the best of the CW superhero shows, which at this point isn't saying much. It's really sad because some of those shows did have potential, but yeah, you know. So there you go, The Flash Gone Rogue. Thank you for watching and listening. I hope you did enjoy, but if you didn't, thanks for watching anyway and taking your time to do so. And for those of you who have subscribed, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. And hey, while you're here, why not check out that link description below? That'll take you to, yes, my podcast on RadioMisfits.com, but also the many links to my many stores that have plenty of goodies for you. Yes, that's right. You. Bye-bye.